Welcome to this lesson on content creation and curation. So, in this lesson, we'll have the overview of content creation, key elements of content creation. We'll also be looking at content curation, elements and benefits of content curation, user generated content, which is also known as UGC, repurposing content, content planning and scheduling, and then content calendar. So what is content creation? Content creation is the process of generating ideas and transforming them into various forms of media, such as blog posts, videos, infographics, and social media posts, etc. And this content should be tailored to your content audience. This content should be tailored to your target audience and align with your brand voice and goals. So what are the key elements of content creation? The first one is audience research. So you want to understand your audience interests, needs, and pinpoint who are they? Are they male? Are they female? Are they both? What are their needs? What are their pinpoints? What is the problem you're trying to solve for them? Another element is the brand voice. You want to also develop a consistent tone and style that reflects your brand. Some brands use sarcasm, some brands keep it really professional, some brands are more jovial, informal, some brands are so formal. So it depends on what your brand is. So you have to develop a consistent tone. So if you're going to be sounding formally in your content, you should be consistent with your formal tone. If you're going to be sounding informally, you should be consistent with that as well. But just make sure that the brand voice reflects in your content. And then you also want to choose the content types. So you can choose from various content formats. There are text, images, video. So based on what resonates with your brand and audience, that's how you can choose your content type. And of course, you can have the mix of all text, video, graphics, anyone in one. So you also another key element of content creation is quality. So you ensure that your content is well researched, accurate, and adds value to your audience. So just make sure that when you're creating a content, you're not dishing out shabby information. You ensure that it is well researched, is accurate, and also add value to your audience. Then SEO, search engine optimization, is another key element of content creation. So you have to optimize your content for engine to increase visibility so people can easily find your content and your brand. Then curation. Content creation is different from content creation. Content creation involves finding, selecting, and sharing relevant content created by others. So content creations are content created by you. Content curation are created by others, but they relate to your brand. So it's about adding value to your audience by providing them with informative, engaging, and diverse perspective on a topic of interest. So make sure that when you're, sharing content created by others, you make sure that you're going to give them credit. So there are key elements of content curation. The first one is identification. So you have to identify reliable and authoritative sources within your industry. Then you have to make sure that what your the content is relevant. So ensure that curative content aligns with your brand and audience interest. You also want to add your insights or commentary to curated content to provide additional values. A good example of this is when you see some people want to give insight about something, and then a video plays for like few seconds, and then the owner of the page will come and start talking about what the other person says. Either they are agreeing or disagreeing, or they're just providing insights or commentary. That's a key element of content creation if you don't just want to use the creators content. You also want to attribute, always give credit to the original creators, so you don't have issues with so you don't infringe on the copy, so you don't have issues with copyright infringement. Make sure you give credit any author's work. If you're going to be using a video, a picture, an image, an infographic, anything you're going to be using that is by another creator, always make sure to give credit. And you also have balance. Maintain a mix of original and curated content to keep your feed dynamic. So in terms of content creation, you want to have a mix of original content and also curated content. So you can have curated content and also have content that has commentary, insight, and the rest. Just have a mix to blend them all in. Now, what are the benefits of content curation? Content curation saves time and resources. You position your brand as a thought leader because you're not just putting out the content curated by other creators, you're also offering insight in your caption. And then it also provides a broader range of content for your audience. So your audience are not just seeing your own original content, they can see other content and it makes it more engaging. Now, let's talk about user generated content, also known as UGC. So what are UGC? UGC are any content created by your audience or customers. UGC includes reviews, testimonials, photos, videos, and social media posts. So it serves as an authentic social proof and can significantly boost your brand credibility and engagement. It also reduces the need for constant original content creation. So an example of UGC is reviews by a customer. A customer uses your product or patronizes your services. They can just make a video or a picture talking about your services, and that is an amazing way to boost your brand. That way, you can have the content that your customer or your audience have already created relating to your brand, and then you can post it on your own social media channel, of course, giving credit to them. Now, how do you encourage user generated content? You can run social media contests that encourage followers to share their experiences with your brand. Say, oh, I like there's this brand that I know of that if you use their product and they want to encourage user generated content, they will say use our product and then send us before and after, and you will get a so percentage of your next order. So that way people want to share their reviews because they know they're going to get percentage of their next order. So and then that way they create more content and then the brand has content to post. You can also develop branded hashtag to aggregate UGC. So if you know of the popular share coke trend, they have hashtag share coke, and then people created there are many user generated content that were created around that. So you can have a branded hashtag, and then when your audience creates when you do this social media content, they can use this hashtag to you find all the content and then you can put them together. You can also offer incentives like discount, like I mentioned earlier, discount or features on your social media channels for users who create content. So you can say, oh, if you create content using my product or talk about my services, I'm going to give you discounts off your next this, or there'll be freebies. I'm going to be giving you something in your next order or something like that. Then another way to encourage UGC is also to ask for reviews and testimonials. So you can reach out to your customers. Not that a customer that just bought something today, you're going to reach out to the person today. You give the customer time to use your product. If it's a service, you give them time to absorb, the whole service delivery, and then you can reach out to them to ask for reviews and testimonials. It can be in written form or it could be a video or a picture. It depends on your product or services. Then you can also feature user generated content on your platform. When people see that you're featuring this content on your platform, they want to be encouraged to participate. So the best practice for using user-generated content is always ask for permission before using someone's content. A simple message requesting to share their content usually suffices. So the fact that they use your product and they shared it on their social media page does not mean that automatically you can just repost it on your page. Please don't do that. Always make sure that you reach out to them and ask for their permission. And when they give you permission, always add credit to the caption. Which brings me to my next point. Always add credit to the original creator when you share their content. This not only shows that you respect, but also build trust and goodwill. And then your audience will know that, oh, this particular brand is credible. You also want to ensure that UGC you share aligns with your brand value and image. Avoid content that could potentially harm your brand reputation. So you want to be sure because sometimes your audiences or your customers can create content that might potentially harm your brand reputation. So you want to make sure that you avoid reposting that on your platform. Then you also want to regularly monitor the UGC being created. So if you're doing a contest or whatnot, monitor as it's being created to ensure that it's appropriate and it's positive. So any negative content, you have to address it promptly and professionally. So let's talk about content repurposing. Content repurposing simply involves taking existing content and modifying it to use for a different format or platform. So it's going to be used in a different format or platform. This strategy maximizes the value of your content and extends its life cycle. So it saves you time and effort in content creation. It expands your content reach by adapting it to different platforms, and it also improves SEO by generating multiple pieces of content around the same topic. So content repurposing is actually an amazing deal that you should jump on. So how do you repurpose content? Turn long form blog posts into social media snippets, infographics, or videos. So you have a long blog post about how to start your fitness journey. You can just take maybe one tip about how to start your fitness journey, and then you can convert it into a social media snippet in infographic, or you can even make a video about it that short, maybe a 60 seconds video. You can also convert audio or video content into a blog post. Let's say you did a video about the same thing, you can convert it into a blog post or a social media quote. Then you can use presentation slides as the basics for multiple social media posts. Like you can literally do a lot, or you can even use your old post, a post you posted like maybe a year ago, and bring it up again and write it in another form. That's a way of repurposing content. That's a way of repurposing content. Now let's talk about content planning and scheduling. Effective content planning and scheduling ensures that your social media activities are strategic, consistent, and aligned with your marketing goals. So this lesson will guide you through the process of planning and scheduling your content. Now, why do you need to plan a content? Why do you need to plan content? Can't you just wake up one morning and start creating content? Why do you need to plan? Now, regular posting helps maintain engagement. Okay, that's why it's good for you to plan your content so you can know what you will post, how often you will post, because it will help you maintain engagement. It's also important because it aligns content with business. When you plan, it helps you align the content with business goals and marketing campaigns. Content planning also helps you save time and reduce last minute stress. You don't need to think about what to post because you've already thought about it maybe days or even weeks before. Content planning also allows you to track and improve your performance over time. Now, what are the steps to content planning? The first step is to set your goals, which involves defining what you want to achieve. You want to achieve brand awareness, lead generation, more followers in your like from your content. You have to set that goal. Then the second step is to do an audience analysis. You want to understand your audience demographic and preference. You can check your social media insight to see your audience demographic. Are they young people? Are they older people? What are their age range like? What are their preferences? Then the third step is to identify the team. So identify key themes and topics that align with your brands. It can also be called content pillars. So we identify each of the content pillars. Let's say you have a fitness brand, identify the content pillar. Maybe you want to do fitness in terms of exercise, in terms of food, different content pillars. So just have that in place. Then after you've set your goals, you've done your audience analysis, you have your content teams, the next you need to decide is the types of content you want to create. You want to create videos, you want to create graphics, you want to create images. You have to sit down and decide that. Now when you've done all these four things, the next thing you need to do is to determine how often you're going to post and which platform are you going to post in. Are you going to be focusing on social Instagram or Facebook or X or LinkedIn? Where are you going to focus on? That would help you determine how to put your content. Okay, now what are the tools for content planning? You can use Google, Pinterest, or Quora to research and for content idea. What kind of questions are people asking about fitness, about beauty, about health, about medicine, or basically anything related to your brand? You can also use Google Sheets, Docs, or Trello to help you organize your content ideas and content copies. Okay, what are the content ideas, the content pillars? What would be in the caption? What would be the hashtags? Just put everything in place. Another content tool you can use in planning is Canva, Photoshop, or CorelDRAW. You can use this to create your content graphics. Hootsuite, Buffer, Metricool, Business Suite. This you can use for scheduling posts and to track and analyze the performance of each post. Then let's talk about creating a content calendar. A content calendar is a strategic tool that helps you plan, organize, and schedule your content over a specific period of time. So you can plan your content in like 1 month ahead, 2 months ahead, but it's best to just stick with 1 month so that way you can see what works and re-strategize. So it ensures consistency, aligns with your marketing goals, and helps you manage your content production workflow. If you have a content calendar, it's easy for you to just go there and pick your content, copy and paste, and then or you can simply just even schedule it. But if you don't have a content calendar, you wake up in the morning and thinking, what do I post today? What do I post tomorrow? A content calendar just helps you plan and organize your schedule pretty much. Now, what are the steps to create a content calendar? You have to define your goals, just like how you plan your content. Define your goals, determine what you want to achieve with your content. You want to have more followers, you want to have more engagement, you want to have more reach. When you define your goals, it helps you know what your call to action would be. Then you also want to have the content teams, like I explained earlier as well. You plan your content around a specific themes or campaigns. That's like content pillars. Then you want to choose a format on how you're going to create a content calendar. So you can use spreadsheet, you can use doc, you can use online tools like Trello or Asana, depending on the one that you're comfortable with. Then when you choose the format, then you go ahead and write your content copy. So you write your content copies. If it's a graphic content, a caption with CTA and hashtags, design content design. So let's say you're doing a content graphic, or you want to post a video. What will the video be about? You have your content copies, that's the graphic content. You also have the caption. The caption has a CTA and it also has hashtags if need be. So, and that way you can easily design your content with the content copies. Then when you're done with creating your content copies, the next thing you need to do is to schedule the post. So plan the timing and frequency of your posts for each platform. You also add this to your content calendar. So this post is going to come on Monday. I'm going to post it it's going to go live by 9 a.m., stuff like that. So let me show you an example of a content calendar. So this is an example of a content calendar designed on a Google Sheet. And if you see right here at the top, it has social media channel, day, posting time, content pillar, content visual type, design copy, caption, and hashtags. So in the social media channel, we simply, which social media channel will I be posting this content? Here we have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And this is the day one. So this day you can choose, you can change it to date. Maybe it can be maybe 25th of July, 27th of August, 2024, 2025, whatever it is. Then the posting time, you also put the posting time. This is 9 a.m. GMT. This, you can see this posting time is 3 p.m. This one is 3 p.m. This is 9 a.m. Then the content pillar, what is the content about? For example, this content pillar is lectures. So it's lectures, and then in the content visual type is slides. It's going to be a slide post. As you can see here is a single post, single post, single post. If it's going to be a video, put video. Then right here, design copy. Design copy is what will be on the design, like the slide. As you can see here, this is slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. Then in the caption, this is the caption that is going to accompany the post, and this is the hashtag that is going to be. Sometimes you can add these hashtags under the caption. You can actually do that, but this content calendar made it different. So this is just a simple example of a content calendar.
So now let's talk about the elements of content caption. Every content caption should have a hook, a body, and a call to action. So the content might be a graphic, it might be a video, it might be an image, but as long as you're putting out that content with a caption, the caption should have these three most important things. The first one is the hook. Now the hook is what to grab the attention of the audience. It actually helps the audience like, oh, what is this thing talking about? And they want to read more. And then the body basically provide more information about the hook. So the hook has grabbed their attention and want them to read more. So the body would provide more information about the hook. Then after you provide the body, the next thing you want to do is to add the call to action, which is called the CTA. So the call to action tells the audience or the viewer what next you want them to do. So it's always important to add a call to action, because a caption is not complete with just the hook and body and then you end it there. You always want to add a call to action. A call to action can be, an example of call to action is click the link in the bio, leave a comment, what do you think about this? An open-end question could be a call to action. Now in this case, this is an example of a brand that sells mobile phone. Now look at how their hook looks like. Battery dying faster than your hopes for the weekend. Now if you read that, you'll be like, what are they talking about? Like what are they saying? And then it brings you want to reach further, and then the body says we have incredible deals on smartphones with long-lasting batteries that keep you connected all day. From powerful processors to crystal clear display, find the perfect upgrade at an unbeatable price. So you can see that the body is actually provide more information about why they say battery dying faster than your hopes for the weekend. So if your battery is dying faster than the hopes for the weekend, you may most likely want to read more, or even if your battery is not, you still want to read more about what the brand is saying. And then the call to action is shop our selection today and say goodbye to low battery anxiety. So they're saying shop our collection. Maybe the graphic that accompanies this caption is maybe a link where they can just click to take them to the website to shop for a smartphone. A call to action can be clicking the link in bio to place an order, or then visit our website to shop mobile phone. Or what do you think about, is your battery dying? How long do your battery last? Like, just always have a call to action. That way you can drive more engagement and definitely conversion.
So I hope you've learned a lot in this lesson. I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.